on Tumblr as well. But enough about Tumblr. Tell me about this Guluheend.
Gulu is definitely one of the rising up and coming Samuses. He has been personally trained for a little bit by our very own Rock Leland.
Yeah.
And he's been making splashes lately with his performances. He's not PR'd yet, but he's been on the what we might call PR hell for a while. Just basically on a cusp of being on the PR, but not exactly.
Okay.
So he has an idea what to do, but he has mentioned that he hates playing against Puff and Sheep.
Okay.
I believe, going back to one of our players that we talked about before, FF3, I think he also has a losing record against him. Pretty sure.
Yeah. And Cheezpuff here.
He's basically playing it safe, which he should do. But the other thing is that, I would guarantee Cheezpuff is not afraid to go jump off stage and screw with his Samus bomb jump recovery.
Yeah, definitely a relatively aggressive Jigglypuff that I can tell. Cheezpuff is not afraid to go in and kind of dance around above Samus, which is normally a danger spot for other characters because she can up B out of shield.
Right.
But it's not as threatening to Jigglypuff.
Yeah, because Puff can just jump away. And not just that, but Puff is the fastest character in the air just by playing aerial movement speed. Which is also what makes, the Puff Wall of Pain so dangerous because she moves so fast in the air.
And Samus is actually one of those characters that has a relatively slow aerial movement speed.
Right.
She drifts so slowly.
It's not just that, but Samus falls slowly too, so you have a lot of time to react to what she's doing in the air. Just like that. It's even worse when she bomb jumps because she even delays it even further.
So there are traits that actually Samus' amazing recovery. Usually people say like, oh my gosh, her recovery is super amazing, stuff like that. Well, yes and no. There are drawbacks and there are things that you can notice and do to kind of just mess with her.
Right, and the thing that I noticed you probably picked up too is that Cheezpuff was going out either taking the bomb hits himself or hitting the bombs with bears.
Yeah.
To prevent Samus from bomb jumping. I'm just wondering, how would you as a Samus, or maybe not you particularly, but as a Samus player, how would you deal with this kind of pressure right on top of you?
Well, I guess the only person that I would kind of reference for matchup knowledge on this would probably be Plup. Back in 2012, 2013, when he had taken a rogue set or two on Hungry Box.
Right.
So nice, good spacing.
Good spacing to catch that forward air.
What I would do is I would probably just do more of that. You'd have to space out Puff. That's your best bet. And unfortunately, Puff's aerials have some of them have a higher priority than others. So her Nair or her back air, they can go through missiles. So you think that you might have a projectile to kind of pressure her with, but that's just simply not the case sometimes.
Right. It's not just that, but the Puff's aerials are also deceptively larger than they appear to be.
Yeah. Super disjointed.
And I think that's one of the bigger things to adjust to when you start playing against Puff, because a lot of players don't really respect that, and then they get hit by Puff attacks when they shouldn't, or when they think they shouldn't.
Nice.
I think Gulu has played enough Puff to get to that respect level, but he hasn't. I don't think he's figured out a way to get past Puff trying to just get in on him, like these super aggressive Puffs, which I think, which I would also label FF3 as.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if he has also had a big winning record against Gulu right here. Gulu forced to up B, but Cheez drops the edge guard, though. I'd imagine he feels really comfortable with his lead right now, so he's fine doing what he's been doing.
Nice.
And you notice those S smashes from Gulu. I think he's trying to get desperate, like he's trying to read a little too hard on Cheez's movements. But that's that Jigglypuff aerial mobility going to play, where Puff can just weave away if she thinks she's in danger.
So one thing that Gulu might be able to use in his adjustment on the matchup, great forward smash right off the crouch cancel.
Right.
Low percents are going to be an advantage for both of these characters, especially because Jigglypuff can just crouch cancel into rest if it's a really poorly spaced attack, or Samus can do that, which he did earlier with the forward smash.
Right.
But what Guluheend can probably go into the next match, because I'm already assuming he's on the ropes right now. One good edge guard, he's done.
Yeah, like now.
But he can look and see where Puff is landing after her initial offensive maneuver.
Right, because one of the other things about playing against Puff that I've noticed is basically Puff's, I guess, third, fourth, and fifth jumps, their last jumps basically, don't go as high. So you want to pay attention to how many times the Puff jumps before landing. And that's one of the little nuances that really comes into play when you're playing against Puff that a lot of people overlook, I feel.
Yeah, and I think another really interesting nuance is understanding their double jump pattern.
Right.
If you look at this particular Puff, it looks like Cheezpuff is when in neutral, when they're like right in the center of the stage, he'll go for the double back air.
Right.
He'll jump once, back air, go in, and then back air again if he baits you out. What you can probably do,
Try to go for that fancy recovery, but I think Cheezpuff was on top of it. He probably wouldn't have made it there.
He probably wouldn't have. But that forward smash was amazing. But as I was saying before, with the double jump stuff, just look for when she's going to use the back air and then punish right at the end of it, you know?
Right.
Samus has a really good dash attack.
And it sends him straight up, too, where Samus can punish with, like, up air or something else, maybe a rising air or back air. But the other thing that makes this matchup really, really rough on either side if you're losing is just that, you know, just by the nature of floaty matchups, if you're behind, that was a good shot. Nice shot of Gulu. If you're behind by a lot in a floating matchup, it is so hard to come back because you have to put in so much work in order to just even it out. And I feel like that's the deficit Gulu feels like he's in right now.
I can see that. I can definitely see like that sort of mental strain kind of just taking hold of his play.
Right.
Good stuff. Missed the tech and got a base full of down smash.
And those are the kinds of advantages that you have to be primed to capitalize on when they present themselves. Gulu misses a sweet spot on the grapple, but he doesn't die for it. That's the good thing for him.
Why didn't he die? On another stage, he would have survived or he might have been dead. But why this one?
Why this one? Fountain is notorious for having a really, really high ceiling, so I can see that Samus not dying until like 150-ish from an up air, especially the one that was low.
But what about the Jigglypuff?
The Jigglypuff, that is the more interesting question. I don't know if Gulu wanted to corner Puff more effectively, because if that was the case, I would have easily imagined that Cheezpuff probably banned Yoshi's for that reason. And so the next stage with the most confined space that Gulu probably could think of is this stage.
Okay, that's a good way to strategize or to explain the thought process behind this pick.
Right. I mean, I'm just judging based off of what I'm seeing from the playstyles.
Yeah. And
that's what I'm noticing so far, that Cheez really, really loves having that extra space to move around, just mess around with their opponent, just like that. And there he goes, that floaty. Ooh, okay. I thought that edge hop was going to happen, but Gulu is still throwing.
Oh.
Up tilt.
Good stuff.
I called the up tilt, but the rising air works just as fine.
It looks. Oh.
Yeah, it looks.
Looks kind of grim for the boy.
Yeah, it looks pretty grim for Gulu. Gulu trying to take a deep breath, trying to readjust his game plan, but you notice that Cheez has adjusted to the crouch cancel shenanigans.
Yep, exactly.
He nairs and then he fades back as soon as the nair hits.
And that can definitely work against Samus in this particular matchup, just crouch canceling and the Jigglypuff catching on.
Right.
Only because she has such crazy aerial mobility, even if she pushes you very little further away, she can space herself and then just go in for the other attack.
Okay, but we got a flub from Cheez. I don't know if he got too scared or he thought it was higher. And so Gulu has a chance to close it out, but because of the nature of how Samus works, especially with the floaty. Okay, there we go. That was an attempt there, but because of how the matchup works, he has to work so hard to get his lead.
Uh-oh. This is looking dangerous.
Something else I noticed from Gulu as well is that, or just both of these characters, they haven't gone for many grabs this match.
That's scary though. For Samus to attempt to grab.
For Samus it's scary, but Puff?
Okay.
I found that interesting.
Oh, good snipe there on the bomb.
Yeah. So that was a 2-0 for Cheezpuff. Gulu's top one. Oh, we got people talking about